going on, everybody? Welcome back to a humongous hiatus that I have. If you can still hear it in my voice, I'm a little tad sick, but we're going to get the plug done anyway. I am your host, Quierra, where we will be discussing about 5 or 6 topics, whatever I can get through without coughing on you guys. All right, so let's get you guys plugged in. Alright guys, the first thing I want to talk about is the refs. Exactly, it gives you that type of reaction, almost like I'm having like Tourette syndrome like type of thing going on. But it's just absolutely crazy what's going on with the NFL and their refs. I don't know who said it. I want to say it was Tony Dungy. I could totally be wrong, but I know I was watching ESPN and an announcer said that the NFL needs to start hiring their refs so that way they can start holding them accountable for missed calls that they're making. If you saw Monday night's game, this is Thursday, so about a couple days ago, against the Bills and the Seahawks, I'm sure you saw Richard Sherman rough the kicker, right? Not just offsides. He definitely ran over Dan Carpenter, but wasn't called. Later on, of course, NFL notices, no, it was wrong. But again, no ref is held responsible for these missed calls and changing dynamics of the game. It is time for the NFL to start finding these refs and maybe they'll start becoming a bit more competent. Alright, since we're talking about Monday night's game, that was arguably the best Monday night, Thursday night, Sunday afternoon game we have seen all season. We're like on week 9 and that's the best game that we've seen halfway through the season and we have to get a game like that. Absolutely incredible. The Bills show such tenacity and such resilience that I haven't seen from them all year. Tyrod Taylor had his best game of the season with 92, let me get this right, 92% QBR, I believe. And then he has 71% completion as well as 289 yards, 1 touchdown, 1 interception, of course. But he played a hell of a game, and I am so happy the Bills have him at the reins. They have something special in Tyrod Taylor. And even though the Bills should have won that, Seahawks are going to be the Seahawks regardless. They're going to win. They're going to find a way to win. They're going to jump over 63 million lines. They're going to yell at the refs. Pete Carroll is going to do his thing. It's the Seahawks. You should expect some type of dramatic whenever playing with them. But let's not take away the Bills from having a great game, and hopefully they'll finish out the season having more games like that and becoming a contender that we all think they can be. And I know this is going to make a little bit of my friends happy, the 4 of you Raider fans. Are you guys really real? Really, like for real? I know Jack Del Rio is doing an amazing job coaching you guys, but you know David Carr ain't been good for some years, and all of a sudden now he's like 7-1 now, or is it 8-1? I think it's 7-1. Either way, they only lost 1 game. I just want to know if you guys really think they're real. They're playing with such energy, such raw emotion. They're playing by any means necessary, and I absolutely love it. Even though they get a bajillion flags a game, that's okay. They're still winning. Yeah, I don't know how, because the Panthers can't get a flag, but that's a whole nother story. However you see fit, the Raiders are winning and they're becoming a dangerous team. Even though they're in a sucky conference, the Ravens and the Steelers are 4-4, and the Texans are 5-3, but again, it's the Texans. Not much there. And then the Ravens and the Steelers, if you saw that crappy game, you know the Steelers aren't even contenders anymore. They can't even kick. It's a whole other topic, you guys. But I want to know your opinion. Are the Raiders really real? Are they really going to Super Bowl? Are they like the Cowboys of the AFC? I want to know you guys' opinion on that. Let me know down here in the comments. Alright, now we're going to switch over to a topic I could care less about until after February, and that is the NBA. And I want to discuss Westbrook and Durant. missed that, of course, it happened last week. I totally understand it. But I want to just talk about how amazing Westbrook is playing with these astronomical numbers, even though he's by himself and he has to make those numbers. It's not the point. And, you know, he kind of did suck against the Warriors. I broke it down a little bit, and the only bad quarter, I guess bad in quotation marks, that the Thunder had against last week was the second quarter. They had 11 points against the Warriors 37, and as you guys know, that was when Westbrook was like resting. So it wasn't a horrible loss, you know, but I mean, it does say a lot about the Thunder and their the badness of them having to rely on Westbrook to win so many games. But I don't want to take away from the Thunder. I think they're still going to be contenders in the West because, of course, Russell Westbrook. I think he's going to have an MVP year. I really do. If Anthony Davis, Winston is looking at me right now. Anthony Davis is probably going to get that MVP vote, of course. You know what? I'm so sorry, guys. Forgive me, because he's by himself, too. There are a lot of people by themselves, actually, other than Cleveland and the Warriors. So, yeah. All right, guys. Winston is hounding me again. I'm totally sorry. I see him in the background. I wish you guys can get a visual of this. One day I'm going to do this live to where you guys can see his reactions. But I want to talk about Vontaze Burfict, and I think it is time for him to exit the NFL. He's a good defensive player, not taking that away from him, but I do believe that the Bengals are being blinded by his antics. I don't know. Well, they're a consistently losing team. They don't really win playoffs, so I can understand why they want him there. Kind of, sort of, not really. But he's damaging not only the image of the Bengals, but also the head coach, because they keep making excuses for him. The man is almost at $1 million in fines. It is ridiculous. You already don't get paid in the NFL. Now you're giving money to stupid plays, like, because you can't play fair, I guess, with quotation marks, because you're getting fined every other play. It's ridiculous. I think it's time for, he has anger management classes, and I think it's time for him to kick him out. Obviously, he doesn't care. So it's time for Goodell to realize that Burfict just wants to pay $1 million in fine. You know what? And that's probably why he's still here, because Goodell has money coming to his pockets for stupid fines, and he's giving them to charities. So probably why he's still in the league. But it's time for the Bengals to let him go, because he's beginning to embarrass the establishment. Sorry, guys. Don't hate me. If you guys did not watch the Ben Simmons documentary, One and Done, I believe it is called. It was on HBO or Showtime, one of those shows. He has talked about the NCAA and their inability to pay players despite using their likeliness and hounding them for questions in their media. If you guys remember Ben Simmons at LSU, which we don't know why he went to LSU, because we all knew they was going to suck. You know, but I have a theory behind that. There's a whole nother conversation, you guys. That's like a government conspiracy theory I have on that. But we're not going to discuss that. Anyway, Ben Simmons says he was offered cars, Rolexes, homes, all at LSU. And I'm sure they did, because they wanted some type of winning season, which they didn't win regardless. So I don't know why they offered it to him. They won't go win. But, you know, hey, they offered it to him. And he says that it sucks that the NCAA won't pay their players. Now, I am on the fence about paying players. I know a few players who live amazing on campus, and they go on trips. They go to Bermuda, they go to the Bahamas, they go to Paris, they get shoes. I am totally on the fence, but I do believe that if the NCAA and if ESPN and all other media outlets are going to hound them for questions and use their likeliness, I do believe that they should get paid for that at the very least. Paying athletes is a whole different conversation that is just larger than just basketball. It's paying all athletes, and it's making sure it's fair across the board, and I guess that's my main problem. So check out that documentary and look behind the scenes. I don't know if Ben Simmons is really complaining, because he really could have went to the D-League straight from Australia and went to the NBA. Yeah, he could have. I don't know. He didn't have to go to LSU. I don't know why he did it if he felt that he won't get paid. I mean, but whatever. You know, whatever floats your boat. But we all have that conspiracy theory. If you follow me, you know I said it before. And I'll actually put it in the comments. Or if you really want to know, just email me and I'll let you know my real thoughts. And it has something to do with the family matter. But it's okay. Hey, you know, sometimes family comes first and you want to make them happy. So, Ben Simmons, you know you're one of my favorite players. You probably don't know that, but I think you're a great player. But I don't know. Complaining about the NCAA is like complaining at paint drying. I don't know. That probably didn't make sense, but you guys get the point. Alright guys, now let's get you into some games of the week that I am eyeing. Of course, I'm looking at Seahawks and Patriots. That's going to be an amazing game. That is a Sunday night game at 8:30. Cowboys Steelers. I think it's going to be another good game. If the Steelers can get their mind together and actually kick a ball, it'll be amazing. But I think Cowboys take that easily. Of course, Dak for president. The Panthers, we're on a 2-game winning streak. Whoop, whoop. We can Millie rock a little bit behind that while I down. We are on a 2-game winning streak. Cam still isn't getting any calls, but that's not the point. We're 2 games in. We play the Chiefs. I think we can win that game. Hopefully I'll be there and be able to bring it to you guys live. If not, I'll be at home in the bed watching it, and I'll still might bring it to you guys live in the bed right here in North Carolina. What else? That's about it. Other games kind of suck. Maybe. I'm joking. There are no other games. Oh, wait. Actually, no, sorry. I lied to you. That's definitely not the Packers and the Vikings. That's Packers and Titans. That's even worse of a game. All right, lastly, let's get into the charged up player of the week, and that is Tyrod Taylor, the quarterback of the Buffalo Bills. Had his best game last night. If you guys didn't watch it, please go back on NFL Network and watch it again. He showed something that I believe the Bills need, and that is hope and resilience against the Seahawks. If he can do that against the Seahawks, he can do that against anybody, and I absolutely loved it. Statistically, his best game, and Rex Ryan was absolutely on fire. Curse words everywhere. Loved it. Loved the fire of that team and the willingness to win. Loved it. The player who needs their plug pulled is, unfortunately, one of my favorites, Richard Sherman. I love the guy. I really, really do. I think he is one of the most articulate and well-spoken NFL players in the league. But last night, his antics were a bit, I don't know if it's showboaty or if he was being an a-hole. I don't know what it was. Rex called him an a-hole. He said, well, no, he didn't. He said, you're too good. You're too good to act like an ass. That is what he said. And, you know, Sherman was doing a little taunting on the sideline, and he did rough the kicker. But the thing that kind of ticked me off is when he shrugged his shoulders, like, whatever. Like, and that kind of, I don't know, that cockiness I didn't like. Now, I enjoy, very much so, a player who is cocky. I really do. I love Cam Newton, as you can see. But I believe last night, when you're not carrying that you possibly have hurt a kicker who's pretty much defenseless, that kind of says something bad about you. So, unfortunately, Richard Sherman, you're on my bad side this week. But I'm sure by Sunday, you'll be back. So, those are my 2 players of the week. That was 3, guys. I'm sorry. 2. Thank you guys so much for tuning in, and also thank you for holding me together these past couple weeks. I've been sick for a month. I'm kind of over being sick. I'm sick of being sick. So if you guys have something like a winning grandma's recipe, let me know what you guys got. Also, we'll be back next week. Hopefully we'll be a lot better. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. I hope you enjoyed my antics. Winston wants me to Millie rock. He said he thinks that nobody should have taught me that dance, but I'm a really good dancer despite what y'all may think. I got a little 2-step in my feet. So whatever. But again, thank you guys for tuning in. My information is down below, as well as Winston, and he has a new website up, eliasdesign.co. Go check it out and hire him and give him a lot of money that I can't give him. Thank you guys so much. I love you. See you next week.